All right, so I have a box here that kind of summarizes the method for computing radius of convergence and intervals, or the interval of convergence. I'm not actually going to say a whole lot about this box because the key to solving these is just to apply the ratio test and use the rules for the ratio test to find out when a series converges. So just use the ratio test and it'll all make sense. If you try to sort this out, seems like it's just more confusing. So I'll leave it here because it might be useful to go back to once you've done a few problems. But I think it'll make more sense if you just focus on applying the ratio test. So let's do that for this problem. All right, so we have a series, and let's just apply the ratio test. So it looks like the nth term is x to the n over n. So I'm going to write the ratio of the consecutive terms, right? So it's going to be x to the n plus 1 over n plus 1. Okay, and then times the reciprocal of an, the nth term, so n over x to the n. All right, so let's simplify this. I'm going to actually cross out this exponent because when I divide x to the n plus 1 by x to the n, I just get x. All right, and then I'll end up with, now I'm leaving off my absolute value signs again. I do need those absolute value signs. So I'll end up with x times n over n plus 1. Okay. Now, actually, I could actually write this as x times n over n plus 1 because n over n plus 1 is positive. So it's really only the x where I where I have a possibility of having a negative number. But either way, it doesn't really matter whether you pull that n plus 1 out or not. But because I'm going to take the limit as n goes to infinity, and so I have basically, I'll just write it back the way I had it before, x times n over n plus 1, and n over n plus 1 as n goes to infinity is 1, so I just get the absolute value of x. And by the ratio test, if I want this to converge, then that has to be less than 1. So the radius of convergence, is the r is equal to 1. Okay. Now this is only asking for radius of convergence, so I'm done. So if I don't need to test the endpoints, that's fine. So all I want is the radius of convergence. So it's just a radius of 1. All right. So I'll see you in the next example.